Sup guys, welcome back for another video. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you exactly all the different ways that I have used to deal with penny pinchers when selling retail and online arbitrage with Amazon FBA. But before I do that, if you are looking for Amazon arbitrage and wholesale content, then make sure you subscribe to the Amazon Reseller Network down below. Also join our Facebook group. We have now got up to 4,000 members sitting in there, all giving good tips around reselling on Amazon and even more like eBay and things like that. The link to that group will be in the description. But having said all that, let's jump straight into it. Alright, so within my own business, I have a couple of ways that I deal with penny pinchers. Now, one thing that I do want to preface before I actually get into these different strategies is that you shouldn't be looking at penny pinchers as a bad thing. Yes, they can be a bit of an annoyance, but this is a world of online business that you are running. It is completely natural for you to get competition and for them to try and beat you to different sales. This is something that you will experience no matter what business that you decide to start in a different form of one way or another. So just a quick thing, just straight up, penny pinchers aren't bad. I see a lot of people talking on social media, going crazy at different people, calling people's store names out. This is just the world of online business. It's going to be competitive, but there are some ways that you can get around it, and let's get into them right now. Strategy number one, you simply just accept a fee and you match the price. Now, if you are operating an Amazon business that is very much focused on high turnover, lower profit, but you're going to be making more money because of the turnover that you are making, then matching penny pinchers and doing this kind of thing is absolutely fine. You know, yes, you're going to sacrifice a little bit of profit, but that's not the strategy that you're trying to approach this with. So I would just simply just match the price. Do not worry about obviously losing out on maybe 20-30 pence profit, and just take the sale, because at the end of the day you're going to be getting money back into your business to spend on more products. One thing that you shouldn't be doing, however, is matching the price obviously below your break-even price. But most of the time when you're selling online arbitrage style products, most of the other sellers are going to be selling them at the same prices that you pay for the products, and they will never take it that low as well. But it's just something to be mindful of. Number two is the way that I like to approach things, and that is the patience method. Now, the way that I like to look at this, if you are buying a deal, let's say, and it is on sale, the likelihood is a lot of people are going to buy that deal as well, because of course they're going to see that they have gone to a store online, or whether it's retail or not, and they've seen a 50% marker off on that product. The first thing they're going to do is scan that product. This is obviously going to lead to a lot of people buying that product and selling it on Amazon, which is going to lead to a lot of competition, which is eventually going to lead to a lot of people dropping their price. Now, the one thing that I want to argue against that is that that product is likely not going to be on sale forever. Number one, it could just be a flash sale. Maybe it's a seasonal product that they're trying to clear out in the stores, or maybe it's an end of line product. And the way that you could approach it is, if you are patient enough, you could wait long enough for those sellers to maybe die down on the listing, and there not to be as much competition. And then one thing that you can actually start to do is raise your price and actually sell it for the profits that you're trying to get. Now, this obviously suits a business that has very much a long-term mindset and a patient mindset, and they are not too worried about high turnover and figures on their Amazon seller app. All they care about is the profit that they make in their account. This is personally the way that I approach things. I would rather much sell 3 items for 100% ROI rather than selling maybe 10 items at 5% ROI, simply because I'd rather wait it out and let myself be one of the only sellers on that product. One way I like to analyze products to work out whether the price is going to go up, or maybe even when the price is going to go up, because normally when I'm sourcing a product, I've kind of got a clear idea what is actually going to happen, is by using the tool called BuyBot Pro. I will leave a link in the description down below, but basically what it has is a chart feature where it can actually correlate the sales price of the product and how many sellers are showing it. And what you can see most of the time is that when the sellers go up, the price is going to come down because there is more competition, but as the sellers go down, the price actually goes up. Okay, so this one's a really good example here. So this is a Hasbro Gaming Bop It, and as you can see, we've got 2 charts down the bottom here. These are BuyBot Pro charts, and what we have at the bottom is we've got our quantity indicator. So this is telling us basically how many FBA sellers have this in stock, or how much is just in stock in general. And as you can see, we've got 2 main kind of peaks here, and this is where it's probably gone on sale, and lots of FBA sellers have gone and purchased this product, and I think it was mainly Tesco's that was selling this product. But one thing that you can notice in the chart above, if we were to actually go ahead and hover over this, but one interesting thing that we have here is these two main peaks. So right here is at the highest point when the most people were selling this product, or the most quantity was actually in stock. And as you can see, when we actually hover over the peak and we actually go down, what you can actually see above, I know there's this blue shaded box in the way, the price actually starts to increase if I just move it out of the way. And then what actually then happens is when the more sellers jump on the listing, the price decreases. As we can then go along again, the price is gradually going down, so the price isn't sharply increasing as much, but then it gets to a point where there are hardly any sellers and the price can pretty much be set at whatever you want because no one's selling the product. But basically what this is trying to demonstrate here is that the more that there is in stock, the more sellers there are, the more it goes down in price, and the least sellers, the more it goes up in price. And this actually proves to you that being patient can actually pay off over time. Number 3, and my favorite, which is set your prices and forget them. So what do I mean by this? Basically, what I mean by this is go out, buy your products, do the right sourcing analysis that you always would, and then simply go ahead and grab a repricer. My personal recommended one is Profit Protector Pro. It's probably one of the cheapest ones out there, but all I'm saying is set your repricing rules and then just forget about them for 3 months. That's exactly what I do. I go ahead, grab my products, I set my repricing rules on that product, and then I won't go ahead and review those initial products for a couple of months at least after I've actually sold them. What I will do is go into my inventory planning, see what products I've had in stock for 3 months and longer, and then maybe adjust my repricing rules around that. The reason why I think this is so important is because so many people get so tied up on looking at the products that they've already got and seeing what is going wrong with them. Why aren't they selling? And at the end of the day, like I said, so many people do this. Like just from talking to my coaching clients and things like that, a lot of people just send in that first box and they will just sit there and they will wait for their products to sell. This is absolutely what you shouldn't be doing. The next thing that you should be doing the second you have sent that box in is to go ahead and get more products, because the wider you can spread your net, the more consistent sales and the more sales you're just going to get in general. But one thing that you will also notice is that if you are spending more time focusing on buying more products, you will actually forget about the products that you have in stock. And naturally, if, like I said, the competition goes down and the prices go up, you are going to naturally just make sales without even thinking about it. I even still get products right now where I bought this product 8 months ago and I can't even remember buying the product myself. I can't even remember some of them. I say, surely I don't have that product in stock, simply because I can't remember buying it because I've completely forgot about it the time I've sent it into Amazon, and it's just sold simply because I've been nice and patient with that product. So one of the best things to do with your Amazon business is buy the product, set your repricing rules, and then forget it for a long time. Number 4 in the ideas that you can use to avoid penny pinchers or avoid the mentality around them is to start doing more manual sourcing. Now, everyone will tell you this when you start selling on Amazon, that manual sourcing is always going to be the best way to find products. And this is simply because if you are using sourcing softwares or maybe a deal sheet, or you're involved with a deal pool, the deal that you're actually going to be buying is going to be sent out to multiple people. And if there's multiple people selling on the listing, the likelihood is the competition is going to be a lot more fierce. Whereas if you were doing manual sourcing, now I'm not saying that these deals won't get picked up eventually, but a lot of the time what you can actually do is get ahead of the competition in some cases, which will give you maybe an extra couple of days or maybe a week of selling that product at the full price before the penny pinchers start kicking in. Now, this is just simply an idea. Manual sourcing for me will always be number 1. But of course, if you don't have the time to go out and do manual sourcing, or you don't have the money to pay a VA to do it for you, then of course the thing that you need to accept is the mentality around using deal sheets. You know that these products are going to have high competition at the start and you're just going to need to be patient. But manual sourcing is a good idea to give a try. And then finally, we have something that I do quite a lot at the moment, and that is trying out retail arbitrage. Now, why am I saying retail arbitrage? To avoid penny pinchers, and that is because with retail arbitrage, a lot of the products that you will find in retail stores are exclusive to that store. Now, why this is so important is because this is not going to be accessible to those that are just doing automated arbitrage online. They're just clicking a few buttons, ordering as many as they can, and then setting their rules, because they can't actually go and pick these products up. If you actually go to the store, and I know it's going to take you a little bit more time, you are going to find more exclusive deals that people aren't necessarily going to find. One example for me last year was a Power Rangers figure set that I found from Home Bargains. Now, of course, the first thing that I did when I found it in the store was I went home to homebargains.co.uk to try and buy as many as I can online, and lo and behold, it wasn't available. It wasn't even listed on the website. It was just simply an exclusive deal to that store. So one thing that I knew that I had was that I had found it, and then only other people that would typically be lucky enough to see it in their Home Bargains stores, depending on where they live in the country, not all of them would have them in stock anyway, would be able to get on that deal as well. Unlike maybe a grocery deal on Tesco's.com where everybody in the country has access to buy that deal. One thing I have to mention as well is that I actually very rarely set repricing rules or use a repricer for those exclusive RA deals, simply because I am able to pretty much set my own prices. I very rarely see any kind of competition, which of course means I don't see much penny pinching. Now, this doesn't happen all the time, of course, but most of the time when I find those exclusive deals in the store, I can pretty much pick a price that I want as long as it's cheap enough for the customer to obviously want to buy it. I'm going to get those sales. But all in all, there are 5 ideas and mentality shifts that you should take on approaching penny pinchers. Of course, like I mentioned at the start of the video, penny pinchers are part of running a business because retail arbitrage and online arbitrage is so accessible to anyone. One of the downsides of it is that there is going to be a lot of competition. If you want to avoid penny pinchers as a whole, one thing I suggest is taking on private label. However, this is going to cost you a lot more money, it's going to be a lot harder, and it's going to be a lot more risk into it as well. So yeah, retail and online arbitrage are always going to be my favorite business models because that's where I started with Amazon. But the one thing you need to understand is that penny pinchers are all part of the package, and you have to learn how to adapt and overcome them, and it's those people that can do that that can take their business to the next level. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did get some value, I'd really appreciate it if you left it a like down below. Obviously, subscribe to the Amazon Reseller Network as well if you haven't already. Join the Facebook group, the link will be in the description, and I will catch you guys in the next one.